When the police received the news that another murder had taken place, they rushed to the scene immediately. As soon as they arrived, everyone stood frozen in shock, staring at the lifeless body. A terrifying silence fell over the area, and the gruesome sight sent chills down their spines. Deep inside, they wondered how cruel and heartless someone had to be to kill in such a brutal way. Who was this murderer? Why was he killing people one after another so mercilessly? This was the 6th murder in a row, all carried out in the exact same horrifying manner. Fear, tension, and confusion were clearly visible on every officer's face. Friends, in the previous episode, we saw how Suchan Kim discovered his stolen idea at a murder scene. But today, in episode 2, we will see what happens after learning this truth. Will Suchan go to the police? Or will his obsession to reclaim his lost honor lead him down a darker path? The story now takes us back exactly 6 years ago, a time when everything was not as terrifying as it is today, at least not for Suchan. We see Suchan Kim interviewing someone. Suchan explains the nature of the job to the man sitting in front of him. The work is not going to be easy. Suchan tells him that each performance will last exactly 1 hour. After every hour, he will have to switch places with another performer. Then, after a 1-hour break, he will perform again for another hour. In total, he must stand for 3 continuous hours in a specific fixed pose. And the strangest part of all, his entire body, from head to toe, must be covered in white body paint. Suchan directly asks the man if he can handle such a difficult job. The man replies with confidence that he has worked as a living statue many times before, so this would be no problem for him. After that, we see the rehearsal for their strange art performance or exhibition. Suchan is giving precise instructions. He tells the man in the butcher section to hold the knife in his right hand, because he had mistakenly been holding it in the wrong hand. Not only that, in the water torture or executioner section, he tells them to push the dummy's head deeper into the tub of water. There is a strange obsession visible in Suchan's eyes at that moment. When everything is arranged exactly the way he wants, he claps with a smile and says, "Perfect, this is the exact pose we need for the exhibition." 6 years ago, when Suchan Kim organized his first exhibition, he was overflowing with confidence. During an interview, someone asked him what the main purpose of the exhibition was. Suchan replied in a philosophical tone that it was about the foolishness of modern people, who are pushing themselves toward their own destruction. That was where the real truth came out. Suchan's father was Youngchan Kim of Youngchan Trading, the very company sponsoring the event. Suchan had given everything he had to prepare for this exhibition. But at that very moment, a dark shadow fell across the entire world: the COVID-19 virus. As the pandemic began to spread, fear brought the world to a standstill. On the panel, the number of infected cases had already risen beyond 2,540. Suchan's long-awaited dream and years of hard work were reduced to dust in an instant. Because of the pandemic, his grand exhibition became a complete failure. Instead of admiring his art, the world was too busy trying to survive. The man who once longed for recognition was, by the cruelty of fate, swallowed into the shadows of oblivion. The virus was extremely contagious. The government imposed strict restrictions, gatherings of more than 4 people were banned, and movement in public places was heavily limited. Suchan Kim's exhibition, titled "When I Destroy Myself," was scheduled to take place from April 13th to 2020, but there were no visitors at the gallery doors. Inside, work was still going on, yet even the staff had no sense of excitement left. As an exhausted Suchan breathed heavily, one of his co-workers told him to take a short break. The workers talk among themselves. Although they are getting paid, who is even going to watch this? There is no one there to see it. When the co-worker standing in front of Suchan says, "Just standing there is easy, but my job," Suchan can no longer endure it. Watching his long-awaited dream crumble into dust like this causes him to lose his mental balance. Furious at his co-worker, Suchan shouted, "Get out! Don't ruin my show!" But reality was far more cruel. There was no sign that the pandemic would end anytime soon. The exhibition he had risked everything for was considered dead before it even began. My show was dead on arrival. This massive building is the Dragon Art Academy, the very place that stood witness to the greatest injustice of Suchan Kim's life. Suchan sits face to face with one of his friends, the weight of exhaustion written all over his face. His friend asks, "So, are you saying that Jahak stole your work?" Lowering his head, Suchan replies softly, "Yes." His friend finds it hard to believe Suchan's words. Looking straight into his eyes, he asks, "Are you sure? Do you need to start taking those old medications again?" That doubt breaks Suchan even more mentally. Clenching his teeth, he replies, "You really don't understand anything." Suchan bursts out emotionally. "You were in the military at that time, so you couldn't see my show. If you had seen it, you would never be saying this to me today." He insists that everything about Jahak's work, from the concept to the presentation, was copied exactly from Suchan's exhibition. Suchan's friend suddenly becomes more serious. After looking around carefully, he says, "Listen, a very terrifying rumor has been spreading everywhere lately." Suchan looks at him in surprise. His friend tells him that a few days ago, he heard some strange things in a group chat. Curious, Suchan asks, "What kind of rumor?" His friend tells Suchan to lean closer so no one else can overhear them. He warns him that it is merely a rumor from the art world, with no solid proof behind it, so it would be better not to take it too seriously. The rumor is that the bodies Jahak leaves behind are secretly sold through underground channels to wealthy foreign collectors. Suchan recoils in shock and says, "Sold? Dead bodies?" His friend adds that supposedly even the police, hospitals, and the families of the deceased are involved in this horrifying operation. Everyone is part of the network. Suchan cannot believe something like that could be possible. In a trembling voice, he asks, "How much are they sold for?" His friend replies, "At unimaginable prices. Each one costs at least 20 billion won. 20 billion won. Hearing such an enormous amount of money, Suchan's words begin to falter. Stammering in disbelief, he tries to speak. 20 billion. Suddenly, Suchan jumps out of his chair and shouts, 20 billion won! Hearing such an unimaginable amount, his mind seems to stop working altogether. Suchan's friend looks at him calmly and says, "Sounds insane, doesn't it?" He explains that there are people in the outside world who see such things as art or as collector's items, and for that, they are more than willing to spend 20 billion won without hesitation. Suchan's friend reminds him of a harsh reality. He says, "While every one of Jahak's works is selling for billions, your exhibition completely bombed." Hearing those words, Suchan shrinks under the weight of humiliation and anger. As Suchan trembles with rage, his friend stands up and gently says, "But remember, it's only a rumor." But all Suchan can hear is that number echoing in his mind. 20 billion, damn it! His friend asks him one last time, "Suchan, are you really sure Jahak took the idea from your work?" Clenching his teeth, Suchan growls, "He didn't just take the idea, he plagiarized my work." Leaving only one short question behind, the friend walks away. Why? When the matter involves murder, can you really call it mere plagiarism or simple theft? Suchan's friend asks him, "Forget everything else. Just tell me this. Were any photos or videos of your show or exhibition ever uploaded online?" After thinking for a moment, Suchan replies, "I don't think so." There is clear hesitation in his voice. Hearing Suchan's answer, his friend begins to sweat. In a frightened voice, he says, "Then this is seriously terrifying." Suchan looks stunned and asks, "Why? What's so terrifying?" His friend then reveals the horrifying truth. He says, "That means a serial killer, someone who has already murdered 6 people, was physically present at your exhibition." Friends, if you want to watch episode 3, stay with us and keep supporting the channel. And don't forget to tell us in the comment box how you liked today's video. Your feedback means a lot to us.